putting the White House's fiercest ally now at odds with the president himself. Georgia Congressman Hice joins us live to react. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Good morning.
All right, so I want to start off with kind of the overarching question here of what does all of this mean for the Republican Party going forward into 2021? Because you've heard many people say President Trump has changed the face of the Republican Party. Now we're seeing people within the party saying yes to the $2,000. We're seeing people saying no to the $2,000. What is the Republican Party going to be, and what is going to happen with this?
I don't think the Republican Party is hinging on what happens with the stimulus checks. Right now, at least what I'm hearing in Georgia and in my district in particular, are concerns over election security and the fact that if we lose the security in the elections, then we lose our republic. That is not the case with the stimulus checks. So people want to make sure first and foremost that their votes count. And there's no doubt that the president has changed the face of the Republican Party. People want to keep that agenda moving forward. And hopefully we'll be able to continue doing that. I have no doubt the president is still going to be very much a mover and shaker in the direction of the party.
Yeah, Congressman, no question that election security is a major issue. But for the Republican Party and for the Senate in general, there is a question as to this stimulus confusion. Like Jillian mentioned, who's on which side? Republicans split, Bernie Sanders joining with President Trump. It's all a little bit of a mess. There is a question as to whether or not that is going to impact the Georgia runoff. And when you look at the numbers right now in the very latest Real Clear Politics poll, it's not too good right now for Republicans. You see Ossoff leading Perdue by 0.8%, and then Warnock, who's not even campaigning following those allegations from his now ex-wife, leading by 1.8%. How worried are you, Congressman, that this Georgia stimulus debate is going to put the Senate in the hands of the Democrats?
Look, it's a close race. There's no question about that, and we're all going to be doing everything we can to win that election. But I detach the closeness of this race from the stimulus checks. People understand we're in the fight of our life for our country as it relates to socialism versus freedoms and liberty and limited government. Those are the concerns, at least on our side of this election, not the stimulus checks. So the stimulus checks to me are a side issue as it relates to the impact that will have on this election in Georgia.
With millions of people having already voted in Georgia, we saw what happened with the presidential election. The people who voted early typically favored Democrats. How do you get Republicans to come out next week on Election Day? What is your message to the people of Georgia who are watching right now?
Well, we are, again, this is the biggest fight in the history of our country. This is going to determine the political philosophy that will drive our nation. It will either be socialism and greater government control over our lives, or it will be individual liberty and limited government. That is the issue. And that is the fire that puts the energy behind this election. I believe the people of Georgia understand that, and certainly the nation understands that. And so I encourage people with everything I've got to get out and vote and get others to do the same.
Congressman, 30 seconds remaining. Georgia Republicans saying there are going to be 8,000 poll watchers there the day of the election. Critics always say poll watchers are there to intimidate. How do you respond to that?
Now, listen, we saw tremendous fraud in the last election in November. And there's allegations all over the place. One of the key issues that will help put that to rest is more eyes out there. And so I think it's a good move to have transparency and to have people watching to make sure this election is secure. That puts everyone at rest to the fact that their vote will indeed count. I think that's a good move.
Okay. Congressman Hice, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Happy New Year to you. And, of course, we'll be watching, as the rest of the world will be, what happens in Georgia next week.